Hi everybody! Years ago, when I first brought up the idea of writing, my parents very strongly opposed it. Even now, they would still prefer if I stopped writing altogether. But with years of consistent actions, they are currently accepting and do show support both emotionally and physically. I will preface by saying my parents are hard-headed at times, so I actually didn't expect them to ever be supportive of me writing. Therefore, majority of the things I did wasn't to convince their acceptance per se. I honestly did them simply because number one, it is beneficial to my well-being, and or number two, I was passionate about writing and want to share the joy I have with them. These actions just so happen to end up helping my parents be more open minded, understanding, and empathetic towards my passion for this hobby, which was honestly a plot twist to me, not gonna lie, and I'm beyond grateful. So, if you're currently in a situation as I was a few years back, here's what I did, although it is not a foolproof plan, but hopefully this video helps you out even just a little bit. Before we start, first things first, your main goal is to be a responsible and mature individual. Then show your parents that through consistent words and actions so you can gain their acceptance to handle a powerful machine. Number one, since I got my driver's license in high school, way before I was even introduced to the motorcycle world, I'm very responsible and have never gotten a moving violation, meaning no speeding tickets, no red light tickets, etc. So my reputation from the start isn't bad in my parents' eyes at all, allowing me to have a solid foundation to gain their trust for riding. Which is why, if your current driving record isn't looking too good, and or maybe you even road rage as well, now is definitely the time for you to come up with a plan and be better. So next time when you're tempted to break the law or road rage, remember your main goal is to be more responsible and mature as an individual, even when your parents aren't around to witness. Number two, come up with a solid plan, ideally before telling your parents about wanting to ride. But if you had already told them, it's fine. I actually didn't execute it this exact way, but I wish I did because it would have helped with the situation. The plan should include stuff like A. How are you planning to budget and save for expenses such as the bike, insurance, registration, possible unforeseen parts and repair fees, especially if you're planning to buy a used bike, regular maintenance parts and services down the road, upgrades that would benefit your riding experience, safety gears, motorcycle safety courses, gas, and much more. For the how to budget and save aspect, you can even go into detail explaining to your parents, for example, that you'll be picking up some extra shifts at work, of course without compromising with your education if you're still in school, or cut down on your spending by eating out less. B. Besides the financial side of it, your plan should also include stuff like who are you going to get help from if your bike needs regular maintenance work, or worse, it broke down and needs repair. It could be getting help from a reliable mechanic friend, a dealer service center, or even yourself if you're educated enough and have the right tools to do so. C. Let's be realistic here, riding motorcycle is undeniably dangerous. Instead of turning a blind eye and pretend the risk doesn't exist, do your research to understand what you're getting yourself into, then address the elephant in the room and let your parents know that you aren't just blindly jumping into this hobby. You came prepared and with ways to lower the risk of accidents and injuries. For example, by doing your research on which reliable safety gear to purchase, taking motorcycle safety and skill courses, practice drills regularly in empty parking lots to hone in your skills, continuously learn better riding techniques and safer riding mindsets from reliable motorcycle educational content creators. I personally find Dan and the Fireman's videos helpful. D. It would also be a plus if you did your research on which type and how much auto insurance coverage is the most beneficial for your situation. And if you don't already have medical insurance, look into that as well because it is crucial to have in case of an accident. E. When you bring this up to your parents for the first time, it might be a shock to them, and it is possible that their reaction isn't 100% positive, but remember our main goal is to show them we are responsible and mature enough, right? So if your first instinct is to give them a taste of their medicine by clapping back at them with some attitude, let's not do that. It will not help with your case in the long run. Instead, take a second and respond with a calm and collected manner. F. If your parents bring up any questions or concerns that you are not prepared to answer, instead of being defensive or brushing it off with a quick answer you came up with on the spot, rather thank them for bringing it up to your attention, let them know you would do some research, and get back to them with a more thought out solution. Number 3. Instead of learning how to solely ride from watching videos online, I took a motorcycle safety course which was taught by educated and knowledgeable instructors. Side note, I'm not sure about other states, but in California, if you pass the MSF course, it equals to you passing the riding portion of your motorcycle license test. Plus, some insurance company will give you a discount as well. Number 4, of course, one of my parents' biggest concerns is my safety. Every time I go out riding, most likely for hours, they would wonder, am I still alive? Especially there are times I can't respond to their text or call right away. It does add on to their anxiety. Therefore, one of the things I did was share my location, which originally I thought about only doing it when I ride, but there are instances where I'm forgetful, like once in a blue moon I will forget to buckle my helmet straps beforehand, so knowing that there is a chance it might slip my mind to do it before heading out, I decided to just share it with them 24/7. That way, even if I leave them undelivered for a good minute, they can simply check my whereabouts, see that I'm moving, and know I'm still alive to ease their mind. This really shocked them because sharing location is pretty personal, I would say, so they took it as I'm really trying my best to take actions in lowering their concerns, even if that means being more vulnerable with less privacy on my end. And since we're on the topic of sharing locations, I have an Apple Watch and it has fall detection. This feature came in super duper handy when I got into my accident on New Year's Eve last year. Due to being unconscious upon impact, I was not able to notify anybody, but it didn't matter because Apple Watch immediately sent a fall detected notification and its current location to my preset emergency contacts, which include my parents. And it also alerted the authorities by dialing 911. The Apple Watch also regularly updated the emergency contacts with my new location as I was getting transported to the hospital. So instead of finding out that I was in an accident hours later through a call from the hospital, my parents were notified right away. And the funny thing is, they actually got to the hospital before my ambulance did. With this personal experience, I think it would be beneficial for you guys to consider investing in a phone, watch, or some sort of device that has this feature. Number 5, I invited my parents to tag along with me when I went to try on, buy, and tailor my safety gear, specifically the leather tracksuit. I will say, the very first time I invited them to come with, I did focus more on asking if they would like to spend some quality family time with me over food, while downplaying just a little bit on the motorcycle related stops I plan to make. With them tagging along, this gave them numerous opportunities to see firsthand how expensive gears are. On top of that, my parents know I'm not a big spender, yet I'm still willing to spend that much for gear. Prove to them that I'm genuinely being responsible and taking my safety seriously. Although I don't wear my tracksuit when I street ride, but I do wear my leather jacket and riding pants even during summer when it's super duper hot outside. I decided to choose safety over comfortability every single time I went riding, not to win my parents' approval. I was simply doing it because it's beneficial to my well being, and didn't even know they noticed until years later. Number 6, the first time I went track riding, I invited my parents so they can get to know motorcycles through a safer perspective. They saw firsthand how strict rules are enforced on and off the track, such as all bikes must pass tech inspection, all riders must attend mandatory safety meetings, wear full gear on track, follow color flag instructions, etc. etc. They also learned that free classes for new riders and free one-on-one sessions with track instructors of your choice are provided. And on top of what I had already mentioned, there are EMTs, ambulances, and even helicopters standing by in case of an emergency. This is what I did because I'm interested in track riding. You might not be, and that's totally fine. No need to track just to show your parents these things. Number 7, it also helped that 2 of my friends that I ride with are track instructors, which I explained to my parents their skill level, safety awareness, and other aspects have to be tested in order to be qualified as an instructor. So knowing that I track ride and street ride with responsible and experienced people, whom they have met in person multiple times by the way, helped ease their mind. I would like to add that you might not be quote unquote adopted by track instructor friends like me. However, there are tons of riders out there who aren't interested in track riding but are still safe and responsible. So one tip I can give you is if all your biker friends do is bully you for not riding a bigger bike, not riding fast or reckless enough, not breaking laws like them, basically pushing you to ride dangerously that is clearly beyond your capability and comfortability, those are not your friends. Go make new ones who genuinely care for your safety and well-being. I would much rather you ride alone instead of riding with people who don't have your best interests in mind. Number 8. Over the years, I slowly learned how to work on my bikes, just the basic things, through watching YouTube videos, reading the service manuals, and picking on my biker homies' brains who are more mechanically insightful. With the knowledge I've gained, I would use them to maintain my bikes regularly, ensuring they're in good condition, and that means a lesser chance of mechanical failure driven accidents. There are times where I will work on my bikes for hours or even days, and my parents get to see the dedication I put in, showing them once again I'm responsible and take my safety seriously. Number 9, when it comes to writing, I'm an open book and don't try to be secretive or hide things from my parents. Because I believe being able to have open discussions, calmly and respectfully, at least on my end, knowing we have different views regarding the subject shows a level of maturity, which ties to our main goal. Lastly, number 10. Although writing is a big part of my life, but I never ever ever let it overconsume me to a point that I start to neglect other aspects of my life, such as school, work, family time, doing chores around the house, paying bills on time, etc. Or else my parents might begin to have a negative outlook on writing, which is the last thing I want. In conclusion, these are all the things I did that helped me directly and indirectly gain my parents' acceptance. Hopefully, I gave you some ideas with your plan. Again, I didn't gain mine overnight. It took me years to get to where I'm at now. So please don't be too harsh on your parents and yourself if the first two tries don't work out. If unfortunately, after years of trial and error, you still don't have your parents' blessings, the silver lining is, at least throughout this process, you became a more responsible, mature, and understanding individual. So not all your hard work has gone to waste. Oh, and if any of you did something that helped but wasn't mentioned by me in this video, please feel free to comment below and let others know. Good luck with your plan. Wish you guys nothing but the best. Bye! I heard you, bro. God damn it! I asked you if you were gonna cook, and you said no.
I'm not cooking. Just do it.
No! I'll wait till you're done. Hurry up! The battery's draining. The memory's